What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video, and welcome to a glorious day in Pennsylvania. We've got an awesome upload in store for you guys today where we're gonna give you some really critical updates about some big things that are happening on the channel, on the vlog, and with one truck in particular. Convict, my friends, suffered a catastrophic failure, which was timed somewhat appropriately right at the end of Dream Diesel giveaway number 20, but it was still somewhat concerning. Luckily, we found resolution to that, and in all reality, I wanted to use this video to bring awareness to anybody that has a newer F-250, 350, or 450, because that truck has been not up here at the homestead over the last few days. Rather, it's been down at Whitmoyer Auto Group getting this issue fixed. Now it's finally done, and we're gonna go into all those details when we go to pick it up here in a little bit. But before we do that, guys, I got a few major announcements. Number one, Dream Diesel giveaway number 21 launches 11/16, November 16th of 2021 at 12:01 a.m. Our giveaway launches, so you guys definitely wanna mark your calendars. The beginning of the giveaway has a very significant announcement that you're not gonna wanna miss. Number two, we've got Jeff and John, the winners of Boosted and Convict respectively, and we are working to get them their vehicles. Jeff actually has something very important scheduled that he's unable to change, so the likelihood that he gets up to Pennsylvania is unfortunately somewhat slim. It's a very important thing that he's got going on in his life, and for all confidentiality purposes, I am not going to say what it is because that's his information that he shared with me, but there are just some things I'd rather not share on YouTube. So with that considered, I think we're gonna end up shipping Boosted down to him. It's unfortunate for all of us and for him because truthfully, I'd love to meet him, shake his hand, and say thank you and congratulations, but I totally understand when there are just things that have to get done that you can't be all that flexible with. Number two, being that John is local, we're actually going to do something that we've never done before, and that's going to be posted in a video later this week, so stay tuned for that. I cannot wait to see his reaction when he feasts his eyes on Convict in person for the first time, because truthfully, that truck in person does way more than online video and photo. So for a really long time, you guys have been saying, Jack, you've got some acreage, you definitely need something up at your property to utilize that acreage a little bit more, and well, guys, good news, I finally pulled the trigger on my first ever side-by-side, and it's chilling right there on a massive boulder. What a better place to park this thing though, am I right? We got it flexing on the nation, a brand new Can-Am Maverick Sport XXC 1000. Jake actually went the whole way up to New York to pick this thing up the other day.
All right, guys, welcome to New York.
What's going on here?
How did that get there? I didn't put that. Well, I'm not gonna argue. No, what's up, guys? We're up here in Spencersport, New York. We are at Maddie's Motorsports picking up a Polaris Maverick. That's nice.
Oh man, that is comfy.
Absolutely amazing. Ready to roll all the way back to PA. It's like a 5-hour drive. People would say that's a lot of driving in one day, 10 hours. Personally, me, I love road tripping, so it's not terrible. It's not a terrible way to spend a Saturday. Got a nice hunt in with the pup this morning. Now I just got to drive this beautiful machine back to Pennsylvania.
It's a narrow wheelbase, shorter model, and it is perfect for trail riding. I get this thing in the back of the property where I have trails, and we just have a ton of fun with it. Jake and I may or may not have been out in Mexico ripping it on the roads and asphalt the other day, but hey, you know what, life for sure. We gotta have a little bit of fun. This thing is absolutely sweet, and what better parking spot for it though, am I right? So guys out in the audience, who's got a side-by-side, and where do you guys typically go to ride? Do you do it with friends, or do you typically just go out by yourself? Do you trailer it? How do you move it around? I gotta know all those details. Drop some comments below. I'm really super excited about this thing, especially because in the time of the season we're in, it's very bipolar, so tomorrow it could be sunny, and then the next day we could have a foot of snow. I'm definitely hoping that we get an early snowstorm here in Pennsylvania because I wanna rip that thing ASAP. So we're gonna jump into either Misfit or the LBZ here shortly and head down to Whitmoyer to grab the F450. But I have a few super exciting updates for you guys on the building. First being that we've actually got our HVAC being installed into the finished space this morning. We're doing a Bosch mini split 12,000 BTU to warm up the 430 finished square foot that area is. From my calculations, I'm no HVAC expert, but 12,000 BTU should be plenty of power to get us going and maintain a nice comfortable temperature in there without overworking our unit. You guys can see that we've got our 3-inch hole saw already cut, and that's where the line is going to be plumbed through. That feeds the Freon to the system. We've also got our painters out here today. They are working on painting our interior and exterior doors. You can see interior doors there. Exterior doors here are being painted because originally they were supposed to be painted from the manufacturer, but in the building space right now, and I don't think this is common in the past, but being that the supply chains are very disrupted as is, getting anything painted black adds a ton of complexity and cost, and lead time to the whole manufacturing process. So I actually just asked the door company to refund me what I paid for black doors so we could paint them ourselves, because I do know a very good painter who happens to also be a big-time diesel enthusiast. We've also got our picture windows in on the outside of the finished space, which look awesome, and they're going to complement the barn door that's black with 3 window casements as well, which would be a really nice complement. I'm very excited to see all this come together. We've got a few other things in the works right now, including finishing off some of our bridging for the lights that are gonna go inside the building. I actually ended up buying 20 of the lights at 70 bucks each, which wasn't all that bad. They were actually running a sale, so that way I had extra ones in the event that maybe one burn out, or we had a failure with one, or we wanted to put more in. But those suckers are bright, guys, and they are going to do a great job. We've got 2 roughly wired in here, not in their final locations, just for some lighting at night, especially being that we lost daylight savings time, which is my least favorite time of the year because I'm all about activities and projects, guys, and when it's dark outside, it obviously makes that a little bit more challenging. And then last but not least, later this week, we've got Orland coming back, and he is actually gonna help us start and finish all of the interior tin, and I can't wait to reveal to you guys the color scheme that we're going with. I also recently decided on pulling the trigger on what is an epoxy floor, and the floor color combination is freaking sweet. Once the floor is in, the walls are done, and everything is complete, this building is going to be a vibe, to say the least. I've got decisions. Do we take the older LBZ DURTYMAX or do we take the newer L5P DURTYMAX? Jake, what are we thinking, buddy? Are we taking the LBZ today? It's been a minute since we've ridden in it. You did ditch us for 2 weeks.
Yeah, we should probably take the LBZ.
Yeah, we should probably take the LBZ. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Never gets old. Excuse me, sir. You got your something.
Oh, thank you. I've been looking. That leaf tastes like a brown paper.
The parking lot of Whitmore just turned into an airplane landing strip with that Stealth 64 by DURTYMAX tuner screaming oh so beautifully in the LBZ, and we're greeted and presented with a legend, and that is Convict all over again. And now he's got working windshield wipers. That was the reason that we had to bring the truck over to the dealership, because electrically we had no idea what was going on with this thing, and come to find out there was a catastrophic failure of the entire fuse box, which happens to be a routine issue from our friends over here at Whitmore Service, as they were telling us, but it hasn't been recalled by Ford yet. So I gotta give a big shout out to Whitmore and the awesome people in the service center here that took care of us. We just got done having the conversation with the guys, and come to find out, as I had mentioned, this is becoming more of a routine problem than Ford knows about right now, or at least that's what it seems, because there is no posted bulletin in the Ford system that's saying we should recall X number of vehicles. I'd imagine that's their worst nightmare right now, especially with their most popular model being their pickup trucks. Anything F250 through 5 or 650 they've had these issues with just here at Whitmore, and I wanted to use this video as a means to educate owners of those trucks that if you start to see some of one of the many variables of this issue, it could well in fact be the problem that we had on Convict. Now, Convict, it was a very strange scenario. The windshield wipers just stopped working. So naturally, we jumped into the fuse box to see if there was a blown fuse, and all the fuses were perfectly intact. We looked up under the dashboard, checked those, and they were all perfectly fine, and it was at that moment in time that I had no idea. So we went over to E-Town Auto Works, and they had done a quick electrical connection test just to make sure that those fuses were in fact getting power, and they were. So then we reverted our last case scenario, which was going back to the dealership, and luckily the guys over here are super awesome. So they brought it in. Come to find out, through a few hours of diagnosing, it was an issue that could be covered under warranty because the fuse box happen to be the problem. Now, the symptoms can include, for at least the ones that we know about today here at the dealership, the windshield wiper issue, as we just learned. Sam King over at Limeridge Automotive with his F450 actually had the same issue, but his truck would not start. They had another F550 with the same symptom where it wouldn't start, and there are these bizarre haptics where when the truck is locked, the alarm will just randomly start turning on and off without actually triggering it yourself. Now, if you guys know of this issue and there are any other symptoms maybe you've experienced or a friend has experienced, definitely drop some comments below, because really at the end of the day, I know a lot of you guys have Fords out in the audience, and I want to make sure that you're aware of this in the event that this could happen to you. Now that the educational stuff's out of the way, cold start on Convict? Yes, I do think so. This thing is an absolute beast. I cannot believe it's going to be leaving our possession soon. I think we're kind of sad. I also just realized that we're both wearing aviators. Thanks for being my best friend.
Of course, homie.
This thing is absolutely insane. You know, it's hilarious. Over the last like 24 hours that Convict was out front of Whitmore, I had gotten probably 15 messages, being that they're right off of Route 230, which is a pretty busy highway. I would say that when you're driving by, Convict doesn't do a very good job of blending in. Sometimes when the batteries die on these Fords, you actually have to go in and turn your power steps back on, because for whatever reason, when it completely loses all power, it doesn't do that by default. Look at that. That's a nice little tip and trick too. I actually didn't even know that that was a thing, but my man over here knew exactly what to do.
Really?
I didn't know that you had to do that. Ha ha ha! That is awesome. Oh my God, did you guys see that Peterbilt? That thing is beautiful.
Let out the beast. Let him out. Let him out.
Lately, my life has been running around from one stop to the next and wearing as many hats as I possibly can, and today is exactly that. We're going through Convict, and we're going to begin cleaning it up for John here later in the week when we get to meet him for the first time. I cannot wait for that day, but in the meantime, we stopped and picked up some plumbing stuff for the new pole building and picking up Lone Star as our vehicle for the afternoon. Something about a truck, though, and that color combination. 151 miles on the clock. We're driving a brand new truck that's completely one of a kind. We're finally at that point in the build of Lone Star that I can truly enjoy this thing for what it is. And I'll tell you what, a great amount of enjoyment comes around in driving a truck of this color, because it's just so unbelievably unique. There's times that I wish that I could just be on the side of the road as this thing passes by, because I'm sure it looks absolutely insane. What an absolute unit. Look at how now the dusk type lighting is hitting this wrap, making it look in its truest form. It is an awesome blend mixture. It's almost like a cream in specific lights. And I'll tell you what, I fall more and more in love with it every single day. Plus the Cognito 4-inch lift gives it the perfect amount of lift. Not too much, not too little. Full turn radius on a 24x14 Genesis gloss black concave American Force wheel with those Venom 33 14.5s with that square sidewall. Looks incredible, guys. It's making me think I should actually take the set of wheels off this truck just for the time being to see how it would line up on our good friend Misfit over here. You can really see the true difference in a -73 offset, but it's a good comparison because the tire does the same effect on this truck versus this truck. That -90 offset makes a big difference, even though it's just a few degrees. I found these super cheesy glasses up at my house. I have no idea where they came from. We've had a bunch of vendors up here that all happen to watch my YouTube channel, so if you're missing a set of glasses, I got you. I have no idea where they came from. But I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like them. I don't know if they're quite my style, but we're gonna own them here for the next few seconds. And look at the squad between Misfit and Lone Star, two bandits to say the least, and they get along quite well. We stopped over at the local hardware store and picked up some plumbing equipment because we are getting to the point where it's looking amazing, by the way. Thank you very much, buddy. I appreciate it. AE Painters out of Lebanon are down here helping us out. Gene, the owner, is a really good friend of mine, and he is making it happen. That happens to be Gene's brother-in-law right there. Super good, dude. I'm gonna take off my very styling glasses right now, and we're gonna walk into the finished room here for the first time together. It's a little hazy because the paint's been flying. I think I might have just got some on my arm here, but it's all good. No longer looks like drywall in here. It's coming along. Plus, we have my boy Joey out. He installed the mini split. Again, that's a 12,000 BTU unit by Bosch. I actually picked that up right on Amazon. It was 1,200 bucks. I felt like that was pretty affordable from the shopping that I had done. There was a bunch of good reviews, which says enough in and of itself. And this space is only about 450 square foot, so that unit is gonna have no problem very efficiently cooling it. And then we are all primed up as well here in the restroom quarters. We've got that plumbing J-drain for what's gonna be the little half bath sink here. Gotta get all that plumbed up once we are painted. We're actually doing white on the wall, white on the ceiling, and then an accent color, which I'm gonna keep a small little secret here on the wall. And we are gonna step out of there because the fumes are obnoxious to say the least. But that accent wall color is actually going to complement one of the two colors that's going to be present in here in the shop. As a spoiler alert, we're actually doing a black wainscot like we did on the exterior. It's gonna look absolutely fantastic. Of course, the black ceiling, which I am totally in love with, not traditional, but that's kind of like my middle name. I like to go left when everybody goes the right way, if you will. It's one of those phrases that I live by in life. But the middle color that we're putting up is going to be sick. To complement that, we are going to be doing an epoxy floor, and I'm pumped about that video because it's going to debunk a lot of myths about DIY versus hired professional services. And honestly, it was a big learning experience for me, so I'm going to pass along all of what I learned to you guys for that day that you build your dream garage. Small little update, I spent some of the afternoon here hanging up the high bay LED lights. Just for reference sake purpose here, let me show you what we've got. These are the lights that I ended up going with. They're by Green Tech. Really, really fair price. 5-year limited warranty. 21,000 and change lumens. 150 watt, 57K black housing, high bay lights, and they work incredibly well. We've got a bunch of boxes stacked up here because I spent the afternoon hanging the hooks and the lights, getting them all ready for my electrician to wire in. So we've got one row, second row, disregard these because they're gonna end up getting moved. We've got our third row, and then our fourth row along the back. We do not have one all the way in the far corner because my 10 by 10 garage doors are on high rails, or low profile rails if you will. They're gonna go way up to the ceiling with wall mounted garage door openers, so we did not want to put a light over that. As an option, I could always put one here, but I'm gonna see how that light and this light do in providing light to this space right there. The lights are gonna continue to run down. We are gonna do one more in this corner to kind of finish off. So we're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4, finish up here, and then we're probably gonna do one here. And I'm not sure what I'm gonna do over the finished space yet. Those lights are about 8 inches from the top of the hanger to the bottom of the light. And up there, I only have about 6 inches over my head. I'm 5'11", so I have to decide, but I'm gonna have to do something up there because I don't want it to be a black hole. Decisions, decisions, decisions. Kill the lights here. Don't have switches on yet, so we'll kill the high bay lights there. Timer, by the way, this is pretty cool. I put my exterior soffit lighting on a timer. This is switchable too, so I can turn them on and turn them off, or it's just the switch that lives by the timer. And that is my ringtone. If you're curious what truck that is, what kind of truck is that? Can you guys guess? Listen, listen, listen. That would be Dream Diesel giveaway number 14, aka the Kelderman Air Ride F250 that went out to Adam in Illinois. So that's where we're gonna wrap up today's upload, ladies and gentlemen. We gotta finish off with the R8. I still walk out every single day after studying my reminder, of course, that I have an absolute blessed life. And I just want to say thank you guys so much for the overwhelming support. I try not to be a broken record and thank you in every single upload, but I do just want to remind you of genuinely how grateful I am to have this platform and that you guys follow along with my life and the activities that take place on this channel as almost like an extension of a life documentary. That's at the end of the day what I love to use YouTube for. I started this channel because I just wanted to meet like-minded people, and I saw it as a really efficient way of doing that. I never expected it to go as far as it has today, and every single day I grab this camera and I just think of all those faces that I've met in person and how many epic people make up this YouTube channel, and I strive for quality, not so much quantity in the videos that I do, and I know that we could probably do some crazy things that go viral, this and that, but I really just tried to shoot for documenting the quality things that I like to do in my life because I know so many of you appreciate the exact same things in yours. And I did have to give you guys a quick little update. The R8 is gonna get some reflective enthusiast decals right down here on the bottom corners of each door. I think it's the best location for this car. They're small, they're minimal, they're gonna blend in with the black accents that are on the side of the car versus putting one up on the center window. Once the massive project is done in my life, that one right there, we can get back to some of maybe the future plans, if you will, but one step at a time. So that being said, thank you guys so much for watching this video as always. If that subscribe button's red down below, definitely consider tapping it. A thumbs up is always appreciated. Mark those calendars for November 16th for Dream Diesel giveaway number 21. See you on the next upload.